My name is Janette Campbell. I hope you all will enjoy my story about my past, plus a little bit about deaf culture. I was born in Adelaide. I was a perfectly normal baby. When I was only 6 months of age, I contracted spinal meningitis and I became profoundly deaf. So when my mother took me to the doctor said all deaf, disabled, deaf-blind children would never grow up. The doctor recommended that my mother should move to England because he felt that there were good schools for deaf in England. So my father was separated from us at that time because of World War II. So my mother and I took the boat to England from Australia. It was a long 3-month journey to arrive in England. And then we met my father there and we moved to Manchester, where they found a good school for deaf children. The deaf school I went to, I really loved it. It was good, I really enjoyed it. I loved my teacher, Miss Kay, and I became her pet student and she became my pet teacher, and she told me lots of stories about fairies and beautiful things. It was really exciting to read. It was lovely. So we were in Manchester for 7 years. My father decided he'd study at university so that he could get a better job. And then he found a job in the government. But we had to move back to Australia from England for that job. Oh, I was so disappointed. Oh, I was sad to leave my school, but I had to accept because it was my father's work and it was good for him. So we moved to Melbourne, to Kew, but my school at Kew only allowed oralism. So it was full lip reading. We were forced to become oral and write English only, but unfortunately it meant that my English went down. If I signed, I would be caned and I had to put my hands behind my back or sit with my hands on my desk like so. It was really, really difficult going there for 2 years. It felt like it lasted forever. And then I went to a deaf school in St Kilda. And luckily they allowed both lip reading and some signing. So when I went there for 3 years, but I didn't dare sign because of my past experience. And I felt very down and very low. But the subjects I really enjoyed were craft and sewing. They were really good. I was really quite professional at those. And my teacher recommended that I go to South Melbourne College to learn fashion design. So everyone was hearing except for me. I was the only deaf student. There were no interpreters available, but they felt that it was really good because I could learn how to make costumes for the theatre, and I was so excited because I really wanted to do that. Unfortunately, because I needed to also be able to answer the phone at the theatre, they wouldn't employ me. So I had to give up my dream. And I had to work in a different type of office job. And then I left Melbourne to travel. I met my husband in England. My husband didn't fully accept my deafness, and it wasn't a great relationship. But I had 3 beautiful children. We decided to move to Australia. I, at that time, really wanted to learn about different religions, meditation, Buddhism, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I tried to understand and follow and tried different ways, but it was so dark. I felt blackness, depression. It wasn't clear to me. But then through a friend who was linked with a very wise church, I went, and the minister asked me if I wanted to be baptised. I said, yes, I wanted to be baptised. And I felt this change, this light, this feeling of light and clarity. Everything improved in my life. I learned, I studied, I read the Bible, and God told me, go study the Bible with hearing, with everyone. And it was so exciting learning and picking up new things. And God told me to work to help other deaf to help them believe in God. I love to teach hearing children to sing songs and all about my language. I love the difference. Before, it was such a dark place. I want to leave it behind. And now, great.